seeing record interest in Bitcoin right now, but this is not from retail customers like we've seen in the past. We're seeing a major shift of institutions backing Bitcoin ahead of an expected spot ETF. Yesterday, we had the Mt. Gox worry and FUD spread as a lot of people were concerned about what was going on. Are these cash outs now going out? We saw Bitcoin dump yesterday, but we're seeing a recovery here today. But more interestingly, I've seen so many stats, which I'm going to show you here, just further highlighting the fact that there is record long bullishness here on Bitcoin, including major institutions. I'm going to break that down and a lot more. We are just days away from what promises to be a powerful 2024. I'm happy to be locked and loaded in this market. Let me know in the comments, how are you guys playing this market right now? And if you want to trade with us, ejalscrypto.com/TG is our free crypto community. Jump into there and let's get straight into the news. The first bit of news I wanted to share with you is this. Smart money is record long on Bitcoin ahead of expected Bitcoin ETF. Bullish bets by institutional investors and knowledgeable market participants have reached an all-time high on the CME data tracked by Macro Micro. So this is the chart I want to share with you guys. This is the Smart Money Index. And look at this, guys. You are hitting record highs here if you look at that orange line here on Bitcoin. This is highlighting the institutional, not retail. This is the smart money. People who know what they're talking about, moving around big sums of money, moving into crypto ahead of an exciting period here for the Bitcoin spot ETF. Look at this. The Smart Money Index has risen sharply this quarter amid the spot ETF narrative and strengthening expectations of a Fed rate cut. And this is really important, guys. There's two narratives going on. In fact, there's three. One is you've got the Bitcoin spot ETF. We know about it. Secondly, we're expecting Fed rate cuts in 2024. We've been through one of the steepest rate hiking cycles we've seen. And now we're promising to head into rate cuts in 2024. Then add on top of that, the fact that we are expecting a Bitcoin halving is what's promising 2024 to be explosive for crypto, which is why we're not just hearing voice and lip service, but we're actually seeing money flow into Bitcoin. So this index, just another example of people going long. This is record longs right now. Futures are derivative contracts that obligate the buyer to purchase an asset. We know that going long means being obligated to buy the underlying asset and conveys a bullish bias. That's what this chart is showing us, guys. And just further goes to show that smart money is long Bitcoin right now. So you need to ask yourself, where do you sit on the spectrum? Are you going to sit on the sidelines and then cry when Bitcoin runs? Or are you going to participate in the market? That's all going to depend on your conviction and your level of research in this asset class. One person I know what they're doing is the following. Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy. Yes, whilst everybody's panicking yesterday with the dip, what did he do? He bought that bad boy dip. MicroStrategy buys $615 million, over $500 million worth of additional Bitcoin, pushing his holdings to $5.9 billion. MicroStrategy used almost all of its recent at-the-market share sales to buy an additional 14.6 thousand Bitcoin. This guy is a serious hodler. This is a guy that really does practice what he preaches in terms of DCA. He bought this latest purchase here at 14,110 per Bitcoin. He's not waiting to say, you know what, oh, let it go up to 69 when it's super confirmed, then I'm going to buy it. He backs himself. Yes, he was buying low. Yes, he was buying high in the last bull cycle. And maybe some could argue he's buying high here. But if you reckon Bitcoin's going to go to 100,000, 150,000, 200,000, 250,000, so all the different price projections out there, then buying at 42,110 might not necessarily be the worst bit of DCAing ever. And this is really good strength by Michael Saylor. And again, just further tying into the narrative that these serious investors know what they're doing. They're record long right now, and they're doubling down on what they believe and expect to be a powerful 2024. There are a couple of things here in the short term that may be a little bit worrying and may suggest Bitcoin needs to cool off for a little bit longer, or at least consolidate for a little bit longer here for a period of time. And the first one, which I shared with you guys yesterday, is we failed to create a higher high. If you look at this peak here, we didn't manage to go as high. This is a lower high here on Bitcoin. Now, fortunately, so far with the bounce we're seeing today, it looks like we're managing to form a higher low, which is good, right? If we can form that higher low, that's a real positive sign here on Bitcoin. But without that, things could be a little bit tricky. So what we do need is we need this higher low, and we need to go and get a higher high. Very, very important. Otherwise, what could be happening here on Bitcoin is we could just be forming a consolidation triangle, which it wants to then break in either direction from. So that's what I'm watching here on Bitcoin. There could be a deeper pullback. And if there is a deeper pullback here on Bitcoin, then what I'm looking to is I'm looking to the EMA ribbon for support, right? That's where we're currently trying to bounce from. We're trying to see this bounce action here from the EMA ribbon. If we're struggling here, then I need to look deeper into the EMA ribbon, right? Do we need to come all the way down here to 39,000? If we do, I'm nibbling nice and strong down there. If we come into the middle of the EMA ribbon around that 41,000 again, if we get to 40,000, I'm certainly buying at these levels. I like buying into this daily EMA ribbon. So for me, no signs of panic just now. Yes, this means we're going to consolidate for a little bit longer because we didn't immediately get the higher high. We didn't break past the 45,000 level. So for me, this means we are consolidating for a little longer. No need to panic. If we lost a daily candle below the EMA ribbon at 39.5, then I'll be like, okay, now we're losing daily trend, guys. What's the weekly chart saying, right? And when you go to the weekly chart, you start to realize, hang on, Bitcoin's got plenty of room after this explosive move to the upside to cool down. So again, even if it wants to cool down to 35,000 here, touch this EMA ribbon, that is a perfect DCA opportunity. We may never get it. But if we fell for a couple of weeks down here to the EMA ribbon, I wouldn't mind it whatsoever. I'll be packing my bags anywhere if we are lucky enough to get a consolidation here on the weekly chart. So strong bullish momentum here on the weekly. You can see here on the daily chart, this is still bullish. We're riding above our daily EMA ribbon, but just wanted to point out, we did get those lower highs. RSI is trending to the downside as well. You can see lower highs here on the RSI, suggesting that we are likely to consolidate for a little bit longer here on Bitcoin. And that's fine. We know that 45,000 here and 45.5 here on the horizontal is a tough level to break. I don't expect it to just keep breaking through every single target to the upside immediately. No, it's going to be hard. And so it's very, very important for us to be patient and understand that there are some key levels which will be difficult. And why is that? And I've mentioned this in so many videos. This is going to be a tough level. This is where we started collapsing from, right? This was the peak here at around this 45 to 48 level where we dumped. And when we dumped here on Bitcoin all the way back then, right? This was dating all the way back, let's get the exact date there, 4th of April 22, we dumped quickly, right? So it's very common and expected that we could fill the gap quickly, and we did, because this just dumped to the downside with very little support. And so we rose to the upside with very little resistance. But now we're facing that resistance because this was a key level at 45,000. Once we can clear that, then we can start looking at the exciting move up towards the next targets, which is getting towards 65 and 69. And I think once we clear 45, that can happen a lot quicker than people expect. Of course, there's going to be many macroeconomic tailwinds to either help us or not help us, right? Inflation needs to keep coming down. We need to see that the Fed are looking to start cutting. And the more aggressively they cut rates, the more excited the market's going to be. The more the dollar index is going to fall to the downside and risk will rotate on. If we get a Bitcoin spot ETF approved, amazing. If we don't, you guys have to be prepared for the downside risk. Will we get that pullback down to the weekly EMA ribbon? These are all things we have to be prepared for live in the market. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen, but you can have the structures and you can have the framework. So if you guys want to trade with me, ijazcrypto.com/TG, we are actively trading in this market. I cannot wait to take some awesome trades and see your trades you awesome community are taking in 2024. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.